Namaskar. A warm welcome to World News and Indian Perspective on All India Radio. This is R.S. Raghu and with me is Renu Kataria bringing glimpses of the major developments of the day from across the globe. Over the next half an hour, we shall bring you the latest from the world of politics, economy, sports, entertainment and more. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says space tech is about to become basis of major revolution in the 21st century at the inauguration of the headquarters of InSpace in Gujarat. Government initiatives in the last 8 years designed to build India as a comprehensive national power, says External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. Passenger bus services between Bangladesh and India resumes after 2 years. No alternative to a rules-based multilateral trading system, asserts India at the 12th BRICS Trade Ministers meet. In women's singles quarterfinals of Indonesia Masters 2022 badminton, PV Sindhu loses to Taipei's Ratchanok Intanon in Jakarta. Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, inaugurated the headquarters of Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Centre, InSpace, at Bhopal in Ahmedabad, Gujarat on Friday. Speaking on the occasion, the Prime Minister said space tech is about to become the basis of a major revolution in the 21st century.
आज 21वीं सदी के आधुनिक भारत की विकास यात्रा में एक शानदार अध्याय जुड़ा है। इंडियन नेशनल स्पेस प्रमोशन एंड ऑथराइजेशन सेंटर यानी इन स्पेस के हेडक्वार्टर के लिए सभी देशवासियों को और विशेष करके साइंटिफिक कम्युनिटी को मैं बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। आजकल हम देखते हैं कि सोशल मीडिया पर युवाओं को कुछ एक्साइटिंग या इंटरेस्टिंग पोस्ट करना होता है तो उससे पहले वो अलर्ट करते हैं और अलर्ट में मैसेजिंग करते हैं वॉच दिस स्पेस। भारत की स्पेस इंडस्ट्री के लिए इन स्पेस का लॉन्च होना वॉच दिस स्पेस मोमेंट की तरह ही है।
Prime Minister Modi, speaking in Bhopal, Gujarat, assured that this process of reforms in the space sector will continue without interruptions. It will give an opportunity to the youth to showcase their talent to the best minds of India. He said, InSpace will create great opportunities for all in the government and private sector. Mr. Modi said, by reforming the space sector, by freeing it from all restrictions and supporting the private industry through InSpace, the country is starting a campaign to make it a winner.
हमें ग्लोबल स्पेस इंडस्ट्री में अपना शेयर बढ़ाना होगा और इसमें हमारे प्राइवेट सेक्टर की बड़ी भूमिका है। मैं आने वाले समय में स्पेस टूरिज्म और स्पेस डिप्लोमेसी के क्षेत्र में भी भारत की मजबूत भूमिका देख रहा हूं। भारत की स्पेस कंपनियां ग्लोबल बने, हमारे पास ग्लोबल स्पेस कंपनी हो, ये पूरे देश के लिए गौरव की बात होगी। साथियों, हमारे देश में अनंत संभावनाएं हैं, लेकिन अनंत संभावनाएं कभी भी सीमित प्रयासों से साकार नहीं हो सकती।
India's External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar has asserted that the initiatives taken by the government in the last 8 years point to the emergence of India as a comprehensive national power. Addressing the National Institute of Advanced Studies in Bangalore, Dr. Jaishankar listed out some of the initiatives which have furthered this objective in his speech.
Girls' education, Skills India, Digital India, Swachh Bharat. Each one of them is a dot. I want you to connect these dots. If you connect these dots, you will realize that there is actually a holistic vision, integrated vision of what our comprehensive national power should be. And that comprehensive national power, first of all, is dependent on improving the quality of human resources. It's a very people-centric approach.
Speaking on national security challenges, the minister said that when it comes to China, India has held its ground and engaged China when required.
We will not be brought to the table by the pressure of cross-border terrorism. And when that has crossed limits, I think you've also seen responses, as in the case of Uri and Balakot. Where China is concerned, as I said, we are again very clear that we will not allow the line of actual control to be changed unilaterally and in violation of understandings that we have. And therefore, we will stand our ground very strongly. And we will, while standing our ground, also engage the Chinese so that where the deployments are particularly dangerous. We at least find a way of de-frictionalizing that in a way.
Defence Minister of India Rajnath Singh visited the training institutions of Vietnam on the final day of his 3-day visit on Friday to the Southeast Asian country. He is in Vietnam to enhance the defence cooperation between the two countries. The minister began the day's engagements by paying a visit to Air Force Officers Training School at Nha Trang. He handed over a gift of $1 million on behalf of the Government of India for the establishment of a language and IT laboratory in the school. Addressing the officers at the school, he expressed hope that the laboratory would substantially contribute to sharpen the language and IT skills of air defence and Air Force personnel of Vietnam. Later, Mr. Rajnath Singh visited the Telecommunications University in Nha Trang, where an Army software park is being established with the $5 million grant from Government of India. The grant was announced during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Vietnam in September 2016.
Passenger bus services between Bangladesh and India resumed Friday morning with the flagging off of a bus from Dhaka to Kolkata. The flagging off marked the opening of the bus service through the Akhora, Agartala and Benapole-Haridaspur integrated checkposts, ICPs, between the two countries. The opening of these services comes less than 2 weeks after the passenger train service between the two countries was started on the 29th of May with the flagging off of the Maitri Express between Dhaka, Kolkata and Bandhan Express train between Kolkata, Khulna. A new bi-weekly train named Mitali Express between New Jalpaiguri and Dhaka was also flagged off by the railways ministers of both the countries on 1st of June. The High Commission of India in Dhaka said in a press release that the opening of the bus services will boost tourism and strengthen the people-to-people contact between the two countries. It is a major step forward in enhancing affordable, people-centric connectivity between the two countries, tweeted the Indian High Commission. 5 routes were operational between India and Bangladesh before the services were suspended due to the corona pandemic. They are in various stages of re-operationalization currently. India has asserted that there is no alternative to the rules-based multilateral trading system and that a strong commitment to the WTO rules is the only way forward. India's Minister of State for Commerce and Industry, Ms. Anupriya Patel, said this at the 12th BRICS Trade Ministers meeting held in virtual format on Thursday. Calling for a reform of the multilateral trading system, the minister said that WTO reforms must strengthen the fundamental principles of the WTO, including consensus-based decision-making, inclusivity, equitable, non-discrimination, special and differential treatment. During COVID-19 pandemic, digitalization has emerged as the key driver for global economic growth. Ms. Patel also emphasized upon the need for flexibility in order to make available vaccines, medicines and therapeutics, among others, to world citizens in a timely manner and at affordable cost.
Japan on Thursday was elected as a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, UNSC, at the elections of the UN General Assembly and will serve a 2-year term in the UNSC starting from the 1st of January 2023. In a statement, Japan's Foreign Ministry said that Japan will assume membership in the UNSC for the 12th time since joining the UN in 1956, which is more than any other UN member state. It added that Japan will aim to maintain and strengthen the international order based on the rule of law while cooperating in order for the UNSC to fulfill its expected role through close communication and careful dialogue with other member states. The International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, on Thursday announced that Iran had begun removing 27 of the United Nations watchdog's monitoring equipment. The equipment was installed under the 2015 nuclear deal. The IAEA revelations come as tensions have mounted with Iran over its nuclear program, with Tehran enriching uranium closer than ever to weapons-grade levels. United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken urged Iran to cooperate with the IAEA. Mr. Blinken further said Iran's actions threaten the possible restoration of the 2015 nuclear deal. He said that negotiations on the Iran nuclear deal can only conclude if Tehran drops its extraneous demands. The Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, as the 2015 agreement is called, was aimed at preventing Iran from developing nuclear weapons. The United States, under the Trump administration, unilaterally pulled out of the nuclear deal in 2018 and began reimposing sanctions against Iran.
The World Health Organization has said that its latest investigation into the origins of COVID-19 was inconclusive, largely because data from China is missing. The report from the WHO expert panel said all available data showed that the novel coronavirus that causes COVID-19 probably came from animals, likely bats, a similar conclusion to the UN agency's previous work on the topic in 2021 that followed a trip to China. The missing data, especially from China, where the first cases were reported in December 2019, meant it was not possible to identify exactly how the virus was first transmitted to humans. The findings are likely to add to doubts. It will be possible to determine how and where the virus emerged. Scientists say it is important to establish the origins of the pandemic, which has killed at least 15 million people, to prevent similar outbreaks. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
India's Northeast is an important pillar of its Act East policy. External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar, in the address earlier today in Bangalore, said that the land boundary agreement with Bangladesh and other infrastructural development in the region has led to a flourishing trade in the Northeast. In today's Hotspot section, we bring you a special program on 8 years of service, good governance and welfare of the poor, with a focus on India's Northeast as a growth engine.
Northeast India is richly bejeweled with the mountains, forests, streams and wildlife. In fact, it is an unexplored heaven on earth. Its jungles are dense, its rivers powerful, and rain and thunderstorms sweep across the hills, valleys and plains during the annual monsoons. The lushness of its landscapes, the range of communities and geographical and ecological diversity makes the Northeast quite different from other parts of India. In winters, mist covers the valleys, creating an enchanting and romantic atmosphere. Throughout the year, different people celebrate festivals with lot of fanfare in different ways, as the Northeast is the home for more than 166 separate tribes speaking in a wide range of languages. The place is renowned for its magical beauty and bewildering diversity. Each state is a traveler's paradise with picturesque hills and green meadows which shelters thousands of species of flora and fauna. Unfortunately, Northeast India has been neglected for many years due to lackluster approach of earlier government. Now, the region is not lagging behind in terms of growth and infrastructure development, as Narendra Modi government has paid special attention to the development in the last 8 years. In fact, Centre's agenda created rhetoric of inclusiveness that helped bring the masses closer to the government. Prime Minister Narendra Modi described the 8 states as Ashtalakshmi. The 8 states of the region are Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim and Tripura. The centre has been focusing on infrastructure development based on science and technology. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that the government has increased investments in several sectors, including highways, optical fiber connectivity and renewable energy, and it is also committed to a balanced development of the region.
नॉर्थ ईस्ट में देश के विकास का ग्रोथ इंजन बनने की क्षमता है, क्योंकि अब पूरे नॉर्थ ईस्ट में पीस, प्रोग्रेस और प्रॉस्पेरिटी का मंत्र गूंज रहा है. बेहतर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, कनेक्टिविटी और शांति, जब ये तीनों चीजें बढ़ती हैं तो इंडस्ट्री के लिए, इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए संभावनाएं अनेक गुना बढ़ जाती है. नॉर्थ ईस्ट के पास तो ऑर्गेनिक प्रोडक्ट्स और बम्बू दो ऐसे माध्यम है जो आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान को ताकत देने का सामर्थ्य रखते हैं.
Efforts have been made to make the insurgents return to the mainstream. Now, after long years of conflict, the Bodo factions left the path of violence, surrender weapons and disband the organizations after signing of the Bodo Accord. The ethnic conflict concerning the Bodos has claimed over 4,000 lives thus far, but with the recent agreement, a permanent solution has been found for the problem. Similarly, Centre significantly reduced the footprint of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act AFSPA in the Northeast, withdrawing it entirely from 23 districts in Assam and partially from 7 districts in Nagaland, 6 districts in Manipur and 1 district in Assam. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said efforts were on to improve the law and order situation for the controversial Armed Forces Special Powers Act of 1958 to be completely lifted from the northeast.
लंबे समय तक आर्म फोर्सेस स्पेशल पावर एक्ट आपसा नॉर्थ ईस्ट के अनेक राज्यों में रहा है, लेकिन बीते 8 सालों के दौरान स्थायी शांति और बेहतर कानून व्यवस्था लागू होने के कारण हमें आपसा को नॉर्थ ईस्ट के कई क्षेत्रों से हटा दिया है.
Echoing the same tune, Home Minister Amit Shah said the move is the result of the improved security situation and the fast-track development due to the consistent efforts and several agreements to end insurgency and bring lasting peace in Northeast by the government.
अब सपा हमेशा के लिए आम जनता का विरोध का कारण रहता था. नागालैंड, असम, मणिपुर सशस्त्र विशेष बल अधिकार अधिनियम के तहत अशांत क्षेत्रों में हाल में ही कम करने का काम किया है. लगभग 1990 से आसाम के अंदर अब सपा लागू था और आज कहने में मुझे गर्व है कि मोदी जी के 8 साल के शासन के बाद स्थिति ऐसी हुई है कि आसाम के 23 जिलों में से अब सपा को पूर्ण रूप से उठाने का काम हो गया है. एक रूप में आंशिक रूप से हटा दिया गया है. आसाम के 60% से ज्यादा हिस्से पर से आज अब सपा हम हटा पाए.
Commerce, culture and connectivity are the focus areas for the overall development of the northeastern region. There is a sea change in interstate air, rail and road connectivity in the last 8 years. Union Minister of State for Development of Northeastern Region, Donair, Dr. Jitendra Singh said that connectivity is an important element of Act East policy. Efforts in this direction include Agartala-Akhaura rail link between India and Bangladesh, intermodal transport linkages and inland waterways through Bangladesh, Kaladan multimodal transit transport project and the trilateral highway project connecting the northeast with Myanmar and Thailand.
एक जमाना था जब वहाँ कई प्रदेशों में लोगों ने रेलगाड़ी नहीं देखी थी, चाहे वो मेघालय था, अरुणाचल प्रदेश था. आज ईटानगर से अरुणाचल एक्सप्रेस चलती है. गैंगटॉक जैसे एक आकर्षक पर्यटन स्थल पर कभी हवाई अड्डा नहीं बना था, प्रधानमंत्री जी ने उसका लोकार्पण किया पेंगोंग में. प्रधानमंत्री श्री मोदी ने कहा था कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट अर्थात एनई, और एनई की परिभाषा क्या है, तो उन्होंने कहा था न्यू इंजन ऑफ न्यू इंडिया. आज मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी की ये भविष्यवाणी सच होते देख रहा हूं कि आने वाले समय में जब भारत विश्व पटल पर उभर करके आता है एक विश्व मूर्ति के रूप में, तो इस यात्रा को लीड करने वाला पूर्वोत्तर होगा.
Organic agriculture without doubt is one of the fastest growing sectors of agriculture production. It offers the most sustainable solution for developing the agricultural sector and provides food security with least negative impacts on the environment and also offers solutions for sound rural development, providing healthy food and creating job opportunities. Prime Minister Modi initiated a scheme for development of commercial organic farming in the region during 2015, which later became to be known as Mission Organic Value Chain Development for Northeastern Region.
2017 से किसानों द्वारा उत्पादित विभिन्न उत्पादों को किसी बिचौलिया को दिए बगैर सीधा अपने संस्था के माध्यम से बिक्री करने के कारण किसानों को अच्छा मूल्य प्राप्त हो रहा है. इस स्कीम से किसानों को तो मुफ्त में बीज, विभिन्न फार्म इनपुट्स और खाद बनाने के लिए आर्थिक सहयोग प्राप्त हुआ है. इसके साथ साथ हमारे एपीओ में भी भारत सरकार द्वारा संचालित इस स्कीम से कलेक्शन एग्रीगेशन सेंटर, कोल्ड स्टोरेज बनाने के लिए 75% सब्सिडी मिली हुई है.
After 90 years, the bamboo has legally ceased to be a tree, with the government amending the Indian Forest Act and axing the bamboo taxonomically. In doing so, the government to promote cultivation of bamboo in non-forest areas to achieve the twin objectives of increasing the income of farmers, especially, and also increasing the green cover of the country. Bamboo and cane is one of the most important craft of Tripura. The craft spread all over the state with concentrations in the subdivisions of Kailashahar, Dharmanagar, Khowai, Sadar, Swamura and Belonia besides Agartala town.
हम लोग तो फार्मर है ना, बाम्बू का प्लांटेशन करता है, ज्यादा फायदा होता है. यहाँ से दिल्ली जाता है, हरियाणा जाता है, पंजाब जाता है और बाहर में भी जाता है. हमारा इधर 10-12 लोग पूरा साल में काम करता है। मोदी जी ने बोला है, वो न्यूज में देख रहा है बाम्बू का ऐसा सब कुछ हो रहा है। इस काम करने के लिए डिसीजन लिया है मैंने। पहले तो 50,000 किया था, अभी 2.5 लाख हो गया। जो उन लोग बोतल बना रहा है, वो फर्नीचर बना रहा है, उन लोग को हमारा इधर से बाम्बू भी दे देता हूँ।
Though in the last few decades, large-scale development in the healthcare services and medical education have also taken place in the region. To develop tourism industry as an engine of growth and harness its potential for the benefit of the people of Arunachal Pradesh, the Department for Development of Northeastern Region, DONAIR, regional bodies like the Northeastern Council, NEC, have the mandate to accelerate the pace of socio-economic development in the northeastern region, as well as to the synergies, the efforts of the central and state governments for balanced growth of the region. Union Minister of State Development of Northeastern Region, DONAIR, Dr. Jitendra Singh said, the Northeast will take a lead for India to emerge as an economic power with the support of its huge natural and human-scale resources.
प्राकृतिक सौंदर्य से माला माल, झील भी, झरने भी, पहाड़ भी, वादियां भी, अपने ढंग का हैंडलूम, अपने ढंग का हैंडीक्राफ्ट, अनोखी संस्कृति, लोगों में शालीनता, शिक्षा का उतना ऊंचा स्तर के किसी भी राज्य में 95% से कम लिटरेसी रेट नहीं था। और इसलिए ये कल्पना में आया कि हम डेस्टिनेशन नॉर्थ ईस्ट के माध्यम से पूर्वोत्तर को देश के भिन्न भिन्न भागों में रेप्लिकेट करेंगे कि हिंदुस्तान से जो एनुअल हॉलीडे सीकर्स यूरोपियन डेस्टिनेशन जाया करते थे, उनको धीरे धीरे ये समझ में आने लगा है कि यूरोप के अधिकतर डेस्टिनेशन जिस समय पूरी तरह से कोरोना से ग्रस्त थे, उस समय हमारे पर्यटन स्थल गैंगटॉक हो, शिलांग हो, अंत तक कोरोना से मुक्त थे।
Educational development in northeastern India has been comparatively stagnant for decades, but recent initiatives of the central government, with the help of Special Ministry for Northeastern India, have given new hope for the rapid development. The centre and the respective state governments have opened up various programs or projects to promote education in this northeastern region of India. The nationwide initiative of spreading mass education already started with pioneering Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan SSA. The SSA has been fairly successful in the northeastern region. It has supplied the states with plumb monetary and infrastructural support in the course of the implementation of the project. Several athletes from northeastern states have represented India at the international arena of sports, including Kunjarani Devi, Shiva Thapa, Mary Kom, Jitu Rai and others. The enormous contributions have helped India win individual and group medals. National Sports University has been established in Manipur. 8 athletes from the Northeast represented India at the Tokyo Olympics 2021. King chili from Nagaland has been exported to London for the first time. This chili of Nagaland is known as Naga Mircha. It is famous in Assam as Bhoot Jolokia or Bhoot Pepper. It got GI certification in 2008. An indifferent government in Delhi tried to brush off all the Northeast-related issues under the carpet, while the people suffered widespread corruption, unemployment, lack of peace, and a general state of backwardness. But all that changed with Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji taking over the reins of the nation. He came with a vision of transforming India, and Northeast India was placed at the forefront of India's development priorities. There's no doubt that the region will emerge as the epicenter of growth of India in the near future.
Jörg Bucke, president of the European Union Chamber of Commerce in China, in an interview with Prasar Bharati Beijing correspondent, said European companies are clearly looking for other countries who have learned to live with COVID for new projects, including India.
We clearly look into Southeast Asia, we clearly look into India, we clearly look in the neighborhood in order to see where else can we establish ourselves for new projects. That doesn't mean that we take out a plant here and put it into India or into Malaysia, but new projects clearly will see some development elsewhere. I mean, we had Prime Minister Modi in Berlin, and of course business development all of a sudden took off, and our CEOs went to India because they can travel to India. And Indian officials can travel to Germany. There's no such engagement on the Chinese side. So in a way, it's clearly the world is not waiting for China.
Amid concerns about a large-scale withdrawal and decoupling between China and the West, Mr. Bucke said that COVID-related lockdowns, especially in big cities like Shanghai, have resulted in significant downturn in business sentiments among foreign firms in China as consumption has taken a hit. India-Ghana consultations on United Nations and multilateral issues were held in Accra, the capital of Ghana, on Thursday. Both sides reviewed their ongoing cooperation during their current tenure as non-permanent members of the UN Security Council and reaffirmed their commitment to work closely together in the UNSC and other multilateral fora. They discussed issues on the agenda of the UNSC, including on West Asia, Africa and Sahel region and other thematic issues related to counter-terrorism and UN peacekeeping.
Moving on to sports, in the women's singles quarterfinal of Indonesia Masters 2022 badminton at Jakarta, two-time Olympic medalist PV Sindhu lost to 8th-ranked Chinese Taipei's Ratchanok Intanon by 12-21, 10-21. Earlier, in the men's singles quarterfinal of Indonesia Masters 2022 badminton at Jakarta World Championship, bronze winner Lakshya Sen today lost to Chinese Taipei's third seed Chao Tian Chen 16-21, 21-12, 14-21. Now let us take a look at the major developments around the world as reported in the foreign press. Prasar Bharati Beijing reports China on Thursday said that Beijing and New Delhi have the will and capability to properly resolve the border issue through talks as U.S. Army Pacific Commanding General Charles A. Flynn questioned China's intentions and behavior at Ladakh border.
Khabar Hub reports that the three top leaders of the ruling alliance have decided to discuss the cabinet reshuffle only after the budget is passed by the parliament in Nepal.
Geo News reports that a day before announcing the budget for the fiscal year 2022-23, the coalition government reflected upon the performance of the economy for the outgoing fiscal year with a growth of 6% against the envisaged target of 4.8%.
The government of Bangladesh is planning to invest $80 billion to shift the country from climate vulnerable to a sustainable climate resilient country under Mujib Climate Prosperity Plan MCPP by 2030, reports Daily Star.
Global Times reports China's imports from India plunged in the first 5 months of this year by the highest rate of decline among China's major trading partners, while China's exports to India surged over 28% year-on-year, official data showed on Thursday.
According to My Republica, the Nepali currency on Thursday plunged to a record low against the US dollar, with Nepal Rashtra Bank fixing the exchange rate at 124.68 rupees per dollar.
According to the Express Tribune, the women lawmakers belonging to the PTI who had resigned from the National Assembly en masse earlier in April have staged a protest outside the Parliament House in Islamabad on Thursday.
Finance Minister A.H.M. Mustafa Kamal has said maintaining imports at a reasonable volume and keeping foreign reserves stable would be a great challenge in fiscal year 2022-23, reports Prasam Alo from Bangladesh.
A quick look at the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says space tech is about to become basis of major revolution in the 21st century at the inauguration of the headquarters of InSpace in Gujarat. Government initiatives in the last 8 years designed to build India as a comprehensive national power, says External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. Passenger bus services between Bangladesh and India resumes after 2 years. No alternative to a rules-based multilateral trading system, asserts India at the 12th BRICS Trade Ministers meet. And in women's singles quarterfinal of Indonesia Masters 2022 badminton, PV Sindhu loses to Taipei's Ratchanok Intanon at Jakarta. And now, before we end, let us listen to Mahatma Gandhi's favorite bhajan Vaishnav Jan by artists from Portugal on their National Day. And with that, we end this bulletin. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.